なんじゃ、今さら思い出したのか。ランチはここにいる。カジ
メガリレーを廃止してほしいです。
It is as expected that when a new character drops, the community are going to have a lot of discussions about them. So in this video, we are going to be addressing the Raiden Shogun drama that has been going on recently. First off, we are going to be talking about the high expectations that people have put on her, with her being one of the 7 Archons of Tevat, and with the parameters set by the 2 previous Archons, which is Zhongli and Venti. Raiden had a lot to live up to. This is even more strengthened when Zhongli and Venti's playstyle can really affect on how you play the game, as Zhongli's shield allow you to never need to dodge again in the game, and with Venti's black hole that just makes the game much easier in general. So what the player base was expecting from Raiden was an ability that was as equally broken as Zhongli's and Venti's, and when those expectations were not met, players got furious. Raiden's kit revolves around her needing to be on the field for her to work properly. This causes the players to shift towards looking at how much damage can Raiden do rather than looking at her insanely good support capabilities. Basically, when you do her burst, she needs to stay on the field for a minimum of 7 seconds so that she can provide her teammates energy. This really causes her to be in a really confusing position between a support and a DPS. I think everyone can agree that the electro element needs a lot of adjustments, as the element itself is not as great as the other elements like Pyro and Hydro. This is due to the fact that electro reactions in general are not as great as the other reactions like Soul and Melt. But this argument kinda falls flat when there are insanely powerful Geo characters that can't even utilize the reactions at all. For example, Ningguang is one of the most powerful 4-star DPSs and she is of the Geo element. In theory, the element itself isn't a problem, rather the existence of Raiden Shogun just highlights the problem that the electro elements is having. In my opinion, the electro element is actually a utility element, and utility elements shouldn't do crazy amounts of damage, as that would obviously break the game. But the utility that the electro elements bring can actually work against the player itself, with overloaded knocking enemies away from you, wasting your precious DPS time, and electro charge just not struggling the enemy long enough. Now it's time to talk about the main reason that started all of this drama. As you all probably know by now, the Raiden Shogun burst does not work with Beidou's burst. The reason that this happens is that Beidou's burst activates when your active character does damage to opponents with their normal attacks. You need to understand that you need to do damage here. As to why Zinju's burst activates is because in order for it to activate, your character only needs to perform the normal attack animation. It doesn't need to hit and do damage like Beidou's burst. In my opinion, this is actually not a great decision done by MiHoYo, as it is actually quite confusing for the consumers. And in a sense, the Beidou and Raiden interactions should work properly, as Raiden is basically doing normal attacks during her burst. So yeah, in conclusion to all of this, I don't think Raiden is above, as Raiden as a support is actually quite good enough to support the other characters in your team. But what MiHoYo should do is to fix the Raiden-Beidou interactions as to not confuse the consumers even further. The electro buff is actually quite needed, but it isn't as pressing as the need to fix the Raiden-Beidou interaction. If you have stayed till the end of this video, please be sure to leave a like on this video and do consider subscribing for even more content from me. Thanks for watching.